what is your go-to supplement or practice during the winter months?
Jocelyn, great question. My go-to supplement's creatine.
Mm,
Creatine monohydrate. Like, don't bother with the other creatines. Creatine monohydrate is really what you want. The reason I go to that is because there's so much research on it. It's one of the supplements out there that actually has a lot of science that backs the benefit of it. When it originally came out, people thought it might be dangerous for kids, for example. And the research showed no, it's really not. It's just don't be taking a ton of it
mm,
over and over again. But if you take the recommended amount, then it's really beneficial. It's really beneficial for athletic performance. There's research showing that it's beneficial for brain performance, cognitive abilities, and it's really showing that if you take it in the right dosage, then there's not harm to it. The other thing is that it's pretty inexpensive and it's really easy to sneak in throughout the day. You know,
mm.
you're having some water, dump some in there. Some protocols want you to do a loading phase. Other protocols say don't worry about the loading phase, just make sure you're getting some of this in per day, but it's super beneficial. The research has backed it, so that's a supplement that I really use in my daily routine.
Mhm.
Now, I think the question was
Winter
in the winter
months.
months,
Yeah.
still using creatine. Winter, summer, fall, spring, all seasons, creatine.
Mm.
Like creatine is great. You can get it through your meals, which is good, but because we're doing a lot of high intensity types of movements, I do like to supplement it. And the research is there, creatine monohydrate. In the winter months, it really doesn't change too much for me. I have been thinking like, okay, maybe I should supplement with some more vitamin D
Mm.
because we are in the Northeast and it's kind of gets dark at like what 4 o'clock
Yeah.
and then the sun rises and you have this like short window of the sun being out and where we're at a lot of times it's kind of gray skies
Mhm.
through the winter and that's pretty difficult. But we have seen research that sunlight is still coming through on those days. So you can still get vitamin D, but not as much as someone near the equator. And back a while ago, I actually did this blood panel just to kind of see like where things are at. And I found out that most of my muscle fibers are type 2 fibers. I'm just a power fast twitch athlete, which is great for some movements in CrossFit and other ones not so great when
Mm.
you need a lot of aerobic capacity. The other thing I saw is that I did have a vitamin D deficiency, and the likelihood is just that I've been in the Northeast my entire life and we don't have a ton of sunlight exposure. So I think in the winter months that might be one that I would supplement with. Another one that is kind of hot in the research right now is magnesium. A lot of people are saying that like 40% of the population doesn't get the appropriate amount of magnesium. What I would say is before you start adding those things into it, actually know your levels.
Mm.
Like don't just believe that I'm low on vitamin D or I'm low on magnesium. Like actually like get a blood panel and see where it's at to see if you actually need that supplement, because so many people will just hop on supplement trains and just start taking them, and a lot of times they're not really needed.
Mhm.
So I don't know, anything you would add in or supplements you go to?
Yeah, well, I think I like the question because it also says or practice. And let's just look at it from a different side of view because when I went to supplements in the winter months, it was more so because I had self-diagnosed seasonal depression.
Yeah.
And so there was a time where I was like doing vitamin D, magnesium, like vitamin C, and even like oh, what's it called? Like black currant seed for inflammation. Like I was taking supplements like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've found is I thought that I needed them to function well, when in reality, I really didn't, and it hasn't affected me. I had to kind of wean off some of them, and there was like a phase where my inflammation was like I was a little achy, but then I was fine after that. And um, so I kind of want to look at not the supplement side of what I do during the winter months, but the practice side because for me, at least the past, 10 years of my life that I can remember to when I was 17. Before that, it's hard because you're just a teenager and like you don't really know, but whatever. But like most winters, I struggled. Most
Mm-hmm.
winters, I had a phase of like my spirit just went down and I was discouraged for a really long time. Call it seasonal depression, call it lack of meaningful activity, whatever. What I've realized is, especially last winter, and you challenged me on it, and encouraged me through it. It was the first winter that I was like truly pursuing what I wanted to pursue, and I was really listening. Basically, I was entering into a new stage of my life, and instead of doing all of these different supplements, I was like, okay, let's prioritize these different practices to help me through the winter months. So one of those things I did, and it's great that this question was brought up, because actually my partner and I were talking about it during the CrossFit competition, so it's kind of cool. But one of the things is having friends that you can go hang out with,
Mm-hmm.
making sure at least once a week, if not more, you're doing something with your community in person, like in physical person, if you're able to, because it's so helpful to get outside of yourself and outside of like dark spaces. So that's one. The second one, which I was talking to a friend about last night, and she literally said it's completely shifted her attitude, is a gratitude journal.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds, some people are like, oh, I don't want to do a gratitude journal. And I'm like, do a gratitude journal. Like, it's so helpful,
Yeah.
especially during the winter months, every single day. You don't have to write 35 things, just write 1, 2, 5 things that you're grateful for. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
The third thing I would say is have something to look forward to, because it's nice, like you can and maybe that thing you're looking forward to is hanging out with your friends once a week, but there's also this like, if I can go visit my mom in Florida in February or March every year, I'm I know I'm like, okay, I'm just getting to February. I'm just getting to February. I'm going to do my best, enjoy every day, but like February is that like break of sunshine that I need. And so I don't know if you can take a vacation, every single person, but have something that you can truly look forward to, that you're marking on the calendar, that like, maybe it's the halfway point in the winter months or whatever, but that you can really like enter into and get excited about. Because when you're excited about something, that excitement carries into your spirit throughout the day. So kind of wanted to share more of like the practice side of things in the winter months, in case she was getting at more of like the seasonal depression side
Yeah.
versus like the supplement side. But any other thoughts?
Well, you got me excited and hyped up now. I have all these thoughts running through my head, and I'm trying to funnel them down to deliver it in a cohesive manner. But I agree with, and I'm glad you brought it back to the practice and supplements. And I want to add on to supplements that just look at the name supplement, right? It's something to take because your body already has it, but you just want to add a little bit more to it. So if you're relying on supplements, that's the wrong way to go about this. You should be relying on your body and the receptors and the things that it already has before you start relying on the supplement is giving me my health. No, no, no. It's a supplement is meant to supplement your health, not give you that health. So make sure that you're using it as an add-on, not as the solution.
Mhm.
And then daily practice wise, another thing, if you have the ability to, and if you don't, I'll give another tip. But if you have the ability to kind of flip your day, I found that to be super helpful.
Mm.
And this is speaking in kind of the more the northern states in the U.S. or northern places above the equator during winter months, is that we have brief periods of sunlight and it tends to be in the middle of the day. So if you can get up a little bit earlier, start your workday sooner, take a longer break in the middle of the day, and then go back to work. It's the way that Italy does their work.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, work till 12:30, 1:30, break from 1:30 to 4:30, and then hop back into work from 4:30 to 7 or 8:30 or whatever needs to get done. But for me, it's like if the sun's out, even if it's snowing out, I want to be out in that,
Mhm.
whether it's a walk, playing snow football. And that's another practice is get out in the snow, have fun,
Mhm.
and bundle up. There's snow pants, there's winter coats, there's all these things that you can use to bundle up and be warm. It was one of my favorite memories of, I think it was last winter, but we went out and played snow football
Mhm.
because we were both kind of beat up, didn't really want to do a workout. And
Yeah.
we're like, let's go play snow football, tackle each other, and run around the front yard. And we live on a busy intersection.
Yeah.
And I'm just laughing at all these cars going by and like, look at this 30-year-old and 20-year-old playing snow football in their front yard. Yeah, it's fun. And it made us enjoy the winter for that
Yeah.
day. So get out there, go sledding, go for a walk, bundle up, uh, enjoy
Mhm.
the snow. I know it gets hard because it's cold and you're like, oh, I just want to stay in bed.
Mhm.
I want to stay cuddled up. And there's benefits to that as well. But what I found is each time that I've bundled up and I've gotten outside, I've enjoyed it way more than I ever would have thought or imagined. So
Yeah.
get out in the sun, as Brandy said, meet up with some friends actually out and about, find some fun winter activities
Mhm.
that you can do. I don't ski, but I'll go to a ski lounge and drink hot cocoa near the
Yeah.
fireplace just to like interact with people. But find that something, and don't shelter, don't isolate.
Mhm.
Bears can do that, but humans cannot.
Right. 100%.